and pause the game and toss the screen up. Then I gotta flip the side and all that. Um, yeah, so I could look in. It was like, yeah, maybe I could do that. Let me see. Where's my split? Here we go. So boom, big me up close. You can see me from back here. I'm kind of like a shadow. Anyway, so if you're gonna be making hand gestures and everything, I want to see it. Yeah, good point. So, if I'm sleeping here, I'm laying this way. Let me get over here. Then the door was to the kitchen was literally like right here. So laying on the arm of the couch, I could see. See, Archaic, he's like, oh goodness, stories bye. He's about to ramble. I gotta go. um, but so I was like 2 in the morning, and I woke up, and it's because I was hearing something. And usually when I wake up, I'm pretty awake. And so I woke up, I was hearing the noise. Our cousin stayed with us too, and he slept on the floor, so I thought it was him, maybe coming back from the bathroom or something. And so I like woke up and I kept hearing the noise, so I looked over there, and I was like standing by the sink. Now where our sink is in the kitchen, it has one of those just like small side windows, you know what I'm saying? Just like a small. People who stay in the ghetto houses know what I'm talking about. Have I told this story before? I've told some friends about it, yeah. Freaked them out. They were scared to go to sleep for the next couple days. Um, so how that window is, we had a side house light that kind of sat on the outside of the hot water heater on the other side. So the light was on at night because it helped keep crackheads away. Uh, but you can still kind of see a little bit of a light shadow inside. So you can see silhouettes of people. And so I saw the silhouette of this guy. I thought it was my cousin Chris. But it looked weird because, my cousin keeps his hair cut low. And so the head shape was kind of like mine, cut low hair, all that. And I saw this dude, and I thought it was Chris, and then I just kind of laid there and kind of focused, and I realized I'm starting to get chills talking about it. It's really weird. I realized he was big and swollen, jacked up, like fools, like not like super buff, like Dragon Ball Z Nappa buff, but like a big solid dude, like somebody who's been working out for about 20 years or something. Just, kind of cock diesel. And I was like, that's not Chris. Who up in the house? It was the first thing I was thinking. So I didn't say anything. I just kept looking. I wasn't saying anything. But I was just like, who is that? And then finally it turned around. And his eyes was red as fuck, man. You know those TN Cell Buff Saga? Almost like TN Cell Buff Saga. Cell Saga Buff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Almost like that. And he turned around, and like the scope on like sniper rifles or beams on Glocks and stuff that you can put on there. His eyes was like that, except his pupils were about this big. They were really beady. And when he turned, he looked right at me. Like my whole head's like freezing up and numb, and my shoulders and stuff was like my shoulders are all getting tensed up, telling us again. I just like froze, and I just like I couldn't not stop staring, but he was staring right at me, looking like right in my eyes. I was freaked out, man. I was just like, I didn't want to say anything because I was scared as hell. you know, I didn't want to say anything, so I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna close my eyes and I'm pretend like I didn't see anything because I didn't know what was going on. Because I don't know, like I just lay there just staring at him, and I locked eyes for a good like 15 seconds. So it wasn't like some people think they see something and then it disappears, or it's just out of the corner of their eyes or whatever. Like I'm looking dead at this dude or thing or whatever the heck it was, and it's staring right back at me like I see you seeing me seeing you. What you gonna do about it? And he's just looking. I couldn't see the rest of his face, just the eyes. I can kind of see nose structure. It was normal shaped nose, but like I don't know. Did he wink at you? Man, if he would have winked at me, I probably would have started crying like a little girl. But yeah, he stared at me for like a good. We locked eyes for like a good 15 seconds, no joke. And then I was just like, And I just closed my eyes and I was like, squeeze. I'm just like, please. I really hope for some reason he was just staring at me and couldn't tell that I was awake, and that he just goes away. I don't know what the fuck. So I closed and I shut him tight for like a minute, and then I kind of opened because I was like, okay, if I open my eyes and he's still here, then he's here. Everybody else in the house, we're all probably gonna be fucked anyway, so might as well get this over with. And so I opened my eyes and he was gone, but I couldn't sleep for the rest of the night, and I just laid there, just kind of froze. And then finally I heard my cousin snoring on the floor. And so I asked him about it the next morning, like if he saw anything creepy or woke up in the middle of the night or nothing. He was like, nah, I was sleeping the whole time. And so I told all of them what they saw. And they're just like, yeah, man, that's crazy there. Because apparently there's been some weird stuff that's happened in that house before. My mom and them have told some stories about them all having a conversation in the house. Because I grew up in the family of Christians, Baptists. They belonged to the Baptist church. My grandpa, before he passed, ran a church and he ran it in his house. And I guess one night, the family, before I was born, so, my mom and brothers and all them and they family, were all talking whatever. And one of my uncles, he doesn't follow traditional Christian belief systems, and he actually studies Hindu spiritual tradition. Excuse me. And so he was kind of talking smack about God, and supposedly some flaming sword flew through the house. I didn't believe that crap. I was like, yeah, whatever, whatever. But I saw this, and I was like, what the heck? So that was my first time. Like, same plot as Insidious 2. I have no idea what that is. But yeah, that was when I saw that. Then the next time, this one was this one was more freaky to me. And just saying that, like my whole body just freezes up. I'm like this whole side of me is just like cold as ice right now. Um, this actually scared the crap out of me. And it has like a nice history to it. So this was also when I was in Texas. I didn't see anything at this time. I just started having these bad dreams. And, in bad dreams, like I would be in my beds, in a bed, trying to sleep. And then I would wake up and I would hear just different voices calling my name softly over and over. And then, could be a tweaker. Nah, we had dogs. If it was a tweaker, our dogs would have been going nuts. So, yeah, it wasn't a tweaker. Because tweakers couldn't get in our house, no way. Not without us hearing it. If they came through the back door, they'd have to push the dryer. And everybody in the house would have heard it. Our front door is metal. They wouldn't have heard it. I mean, and me and my cousin both are in the living room sleeping. Our windows, they were locked. You'd have to break them. So there's no way it could have been a tweaker in the house. Not with them red eyes, anyway. Like, seriously, they were red like a scope. They had big pupils, and you could see them clear as day, burning bright in the middle of the nighttime. So there's no way it was a tweaker. But yeah, so I had oh, you talking about the dream? No, this yeah, yeah, so there was no way that was a tweaker. But that back to the dream. Yeah, I would hear these soft voices calling me. And then this was a recurring sense of dream. The first one was just soft voices, and then finally one solid voice called louder my name, and I got scared and woke up. And so on a weekly basis, sometimes once a week, sometimes a couple times a week, I would have the same dream, but it would always go a little bit farther than the time before. And so it would just get farther and farther. And then, like, one of the times, I felt a cold, ice cold hand grab my foot, and I woke up. And I was like, oh, shoot. Uh, and so I freaked out and I woke up, and my ankle was cold, like the hand that had just grabbed my foot in the dream. It was freezing, like my foot. It was these dreams started in like the fall. My foot felt like it was sitting in an ice cold bucket of water for like 20 minutes. It was crazy, and so I would start having these dreams, and each dream it would get farther and farther into the dream, and I would wake up as the hand is like pulling farther and farther up my body. Um, Finally, it got to the point to where um, I had the dream, and the hand grabbed my shoulder and pulled me around. And when I looked, I woke up, and it was this little girl in this blue dress, long hair. This was like way before I hadn't even seen the ring and all that stuff at the time. So I didn't know about you on. I didn't know about the ring and all that stuff. And I saw a blue girl or a girl with blue dress. Couldn't see her face, but all her skin was pale, and she had long fingernails. She looked like she was about 7, and black hair. And shit scared the pants off me, and I woke up, and that was the last I had had of that dream for like 2 or 3 months. Yeah, it was oof. And so in that time, I had moved. This was in the springtime now, and so when I woke up, I would still feel the coldness, and this was in the springtime. Um, and so then that March, this was in 2005. I started having the dreams in like fall of 2004. So this is March 2005. I moved to California to stay with a friend, or stay at my friend's old house while I was transitioning to Arizona to go to college the first time. And while I was at this place, about a month and a half had went by. Everything was fine. Didn't have any weird, crazy dreams. Everything was normal. I went to go and get um I went to go and get me some food one day. I went to it was a Kroger's out there. Um so I went to the Kroger's, whatever. I came back home. It was just me. Um I had the day off of work. It was about, I don't know, between 3:30 and 4:30, so sometime in the afternoon. This was California, so it's 3:30 or 4:30. Um and so I got back in the house. And I was putting everything away. Man, my body's chilling up, dog. I'm just like, ugh. Now I'm gonna be scared to actually play this game, talk about this stuff. That's why y'all wanted me to talk about it, so I actually get scared playing the game. Like, my body's like all getting tense now. Um, when I was putting everything away, I heard some weird noises coming from my friend's mom's because I was staying at her mom's house in her old bedroom. The girl didn't stay there; she stayed way far away. It's just her mom was renting out the room to one other person, and her bedroom was still open, so she was letting me use it for a couple months. And so I heard, if you call it Miss Cleo and figure out why I'm so spirit sensitive, yeah, that'd be an interesting phone call. But I heard something in that room, and since I was gone getting groceries, I thought, the mom was home. And so I called her name, actually was still home. I didn't hear anything, so I figured maybe because she's got her own bathroom in that room. And so I figured, well, she's an older lady. She's like 60s or something, late 50s, early 60s or something like that. I figured she just couldn't hear, whatever. And so then the door opened. So I just kind of casually turned around to say, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" And I saw that fucking girl in the blue dress take out, run across the damn kitchen thing. Like, so where the way the kitchen was set up, there's her room, there's this pillar, there's this open space, and in that open space it's wide open. Like you can see the couch, 2 couches, the TV, all that stuff. I saw that fucking little girl run out, run across that space, and run into the room that I stay in. I left the house. Oh, I left the house, and I didn't even know what to do. I just like walked out of the house and I just like sat outside for like an hour. Man, I was so scared. I was just like, that's the same exact girl from the dream I was having all those months ago, like 2, 3 months ago. Run out her room. This was plain as day. Afternoon. The light is in the house. It's not like nighttime. You can, whatever. And it took, as wide because she had kind of a big house. To run across there, it takes like a good 3 or 4 seconds, and then to turn that corner is another two. So that's like 5 or 6, seconds. I'm actually seeing this girl run from out of her room, run across the thing, turn into the room, and go around the corner to where the closet would be at, or to the other side of the bed. I I just went out. Well, there's people outside, so I just sat out there and just like sat on the curb, and they're kind of looking at me funny. But then they went back to washing their car or whatever. Man, I don't. Ugh. I seriously, I sat out there for an hour and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta sleep in there tonight. I gotta finish living in this place for like another couple weeks to a month or something. Oh man, I had never been. That was like the only time I've seriously been afraid outside of the time where I saw that weird dude in the kitchen. Those are like the only 2 times I've legitimately been scared in my entire life. And so Can y'all hear me? Okay, it's back. My headphones cut out. After all that, my headphones cut out. That was creepy. Um, yeah, and so I told the lady of the house when she got home. She finally came back home. I went back in the house, but I didn't go in the bedroom, obviously. I just kind of stayed in the kitchen area and just watched TV from there. And then the lady came and I told her what happened. And so she went and she looked and she was like, "There's nothing in here. You're totally fine." Because I wasn't finna go. I wasn't finna go in there by myself. I went in with her. I didn't stay in the kitchen. She went in by herself. I followed her, but she went in first. And she just like, "Everything's fine. It's good. There's nothing in here." So I told her what happened and everything. And so then she actually she went in her bedroom and she came out with this old necklace that had a cross on it. Um, that she had forever. I don't know. Um, and she gave it to me. She said, "If you're still scared, just have this by your nightstand and you should be okay." And so I kept it by the bed because I ended up playing Warcraft that whole night. I didn't sleep. There was no way. I kept the hall light on. I kept my door open. The other guy, he stayed up for long because I told him about it. He was freaked out. Then he decided to tell me all his scary stories that he saw. And so that freaked me out even more for the rest of the night. And so he stayed up as long as possible. But obviously, I have insomnia. I can stay up forever if I need to. I didn't sleep. I played Warcraft for like 8 hours just to try to keep my mind off of it, and I kept my closet door closed. I kept things in front of it so I can hear something fall over and take off running really quick if I needed to. But yeah, nothing happened, and ever since I had that cross, nothing's happened. I haven't had those kind of dreams with that person. Haven't seen anything crazy since. So I still have that cross to this day. I'm not getting rid of it. I mean, the cross probably has nothing to do with it. You never know, though. I mean, my views on religion are a lot different than most people. We won't get in that tonight because we're talking about ghost stuff, not religion. But I will say I'm not a Christian. I do believe in God, but I'm not a Christian by any stretch. There are so many things I disagree with the Bible. It's not even funny. So yeah. Um, Yeah, it would spark a huge chat debate, but I would keep it under control. Basically, my premise is I believe in a lot of spiritual things, and I think that I don't like to use the term religion because it's too Western. All spiritual uh traditions have a link, even like Greek gods, Hephaestus and Zeus and all that stuff. And that's all I'm gonna leave it at. But yeah, I'm not a Christian. I don't follow the Bible, any of that kind of stuff. Um, that's what I was taught growing up, but that's not what I follow anymore. I like to wear crosses just because they look cool. So if you see me wear a cross necklace, I'm just wearing it because it looks cool. So yeah, I just do my own self studies. But again, that'll probably be a YouTube video rant. That way, people who are interested in wanting to know what I actually do follow, you can know then. I'm not going to bring it up in chat right now. But yeah, ever since I got that cross, never saw anything crazy. But those are the two things in my life, the two times in my life that I was actually scared. Like if I see it in a game or a movie or something, I'm not gonna be scared. We're all adults here. I think we could deal with the religious debate if one popped up. I think so. Just because like we're not a basher, and because I'm not strictly, you know, I think it's mostly because of the fact that I'm not a Christian. I think it would be okay if we had one. If the caster is a Christian and you try to have a debate, then it gets messy. I'm not a Christian, so it'd be fine because my views are wide open, you know. So it would be fine. But yeah, like scary stuff, I have to see in person probably, just because that's the only time I've really been scared. In games and media and stuff, no, things will make you jump because they can catch you off guard, but they're not necessarily scary. So, oh, don't say your age, Raven. I mean, this channel's small, but if I were a huge channel and an admin sees that you're in here under the age of 18, and I no, it's yeah, under the age of 18, since I marked that I'm an adult channel, they could ban you, and I don't want that to happen. So don't say your age if you're under 18 in this chat room or other ones that have that. You got to be 18 or under to equal. Yeah, you can do new accounts, but still, then you have to reestablish. I am doing a plasma cutter only run. I'm gonna shrink back in the corner. Now that you guys have made me all freaked out and I'm all tensed up and shaky from telling my scary stories, this is gonna be not